Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Wednesday, August the 7th. Oh my goodness, we're moving right along in August already, the 7th day. Randall Cole is with us from Community Land Trust in Columbia. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
Randy.
I actually go by Randy, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I'll call you Randy.
That sounds good.
Some people may not be aware of what the Community Land Trust is, so give us a quick review.
So the Columbia Community Land Trust is a separate 501c3, separate from the city, and its main goal is to create and maintain and steward affordable housing in our community, in particular home ownership. So we sell the structures to qualified buyers, so homes to qualified buyers at a reduced rate, so low to moderate income citizens, and the land trust maintains ownership of the land so that that public subsidy that we put into the property is protected for future home buyers.
How does the land trust come to own the land?
So the city has been investing in affordable housing for many, many decades. So that's something we've always done. We created the land trust to basically protect those city investments. So whenever we're developing affordable housing, being with a nonprofit or private developer, we'll require that whoever's developing the property put the land into the land trust at closing. So that way that investment is protected for future buyers.
But the people that live in the house buy the house.
Correct.
They own the house, but they do not own the land.
Correct. Similar to like a condo situation. That's a type of legal arrangement that's been around for many, many years. Land trust came up in the late 60s as a way to ensure where we've invested in affordable housing that investment is protected for future generations.
So when that person buys the house, they have the yard, the backyard, and the front yard. Can they do what they want to on that land?
Of course. So community land trust owners can do anything a normal homeowner can do.
You can put a garden in, you can
put a
plant
fence
trees.
up, go throw the Frisbee around, whatever. You won't be able to tell the difference from the street. So the difference is, those homes that we're building, or the homes that we're building in town with the affordable housing crisis, typically cost $150,000, $175,000 to build. But wages haven't kept up with the rising cost of housing in our community or nationwide. So we sell those houses around $100,000 to a family that might make $35,000 gross annual income. So that gap in there, that subsidy, that $75,000, we protect that subsidy with a ground lease that stipulates what those homeowners can resell the property. So that way that investment that we put in is there for future homeowners.
Right. And the other thing, the homeowners, and they're paying taxes only on the home, not the land.
They are paying real estate taxes just like any homeowner. And what's really nice to see is most of the properties that we've invested in are vacant, dilapidated, not being utilized. They're performing at about $500 per year in gross real estate taxes. But after we redevelop under the Community Land Trust model, they're pulling about $1,500 a year. So that's about $1,000 gain for every property
that's
we
going
invest
back
in.
Into the community.
Correct.
If people want more information about the Community Land Trust, what can they do?
They can go to comolandtrust.com and learn a lot more about the organization.
Okay, and you need to come back and tell us more about it.
I'd love to.
All right, Randy Cole, thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Okay, now I want to introduce you to MARILYN McLEOD, League of Women Voters. Good to have you here. And you ladies have had the right to vote now for over 100 years.
Just about 100 years.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. I'll say that again. The ladies are the backbone. The ladies are the backbone of so many things.
Yeah.
Right. So what have you got coming up this month?
I have to tell you, we're going to be doing lots of events over the next year because it is a year-long celebration from the time that Congress approved the 19th Amendment to the time it was ratified. So we'll have. I'll be back. Hopefully, if you at your...
Oh, yes. Okay, so what are some of the things you have going on?
So the next thing is August 25th, which is a Sunday at 2. And this is celebrating the 99th anniversary of the 19th Amendment because it's not totally ratified yet.
99, 100 years, I mean, it's a long time.
It's a long time. So we're going to do this at the Boone County History and Culture Center, which is on Ponderosa Street, down south of town.
Yeah, I know where it is.
So we're really pleased to be able to do this there. And we will have an event featuring, this is kind of funny, a singing group singing suffrage songs, because those were very popular at the time of suffrage movement. And we'll have a sing-along, and the group is the Joy Boys are going to lead it.
The Joy Boys?
Yes.
The Joy Boys are going to lead a sing-along for women's voting rights.
That's right. And then we're going to have a speaker, Catherine Rimpf, who is the chair of the history department at the university, and she's going to talk about changes in women's legal rights, because there were major changes over the time from when women began to talk about having rights, because they didn't, and then where we are now.
Before women had the right to vote, did they have the right to own property?
Well, not initially, actually. When this began to be a movement in 1848, they did not.
They did not have the right to own property.
If they married, the property went to the husband. If they didn't marry, they could keep their property. And they could lose their children in case of a divorce. It was not in their favor. They couldn't testify in their defense if they were on trial. The deck was pretty stacked against them. So little by little, women began to win rights, but it wasn't totally across the country that women had the right to vote until actually 1920 finally.
Yeah. And that was a big deal.
Yeah.
That was a very big deal. And rightly so. So you've got that one event, then what else?
And that's it too, and the public is invited. We will be working with the Center for Boone County History and Culture Center on an exhibit which will be about the suffrage movement and about local items related to women getting the vote. For example, there was the local suffrage organization, which ultimately became the League of Women Voters. So there will be an exhibit there beginning officially in September, but we will have most of it available, we hope, at this date, so people can see that too.
As a woman, when you think back before you had the right to vote, does it make you angry?
Well, yes. Yeah, actually, my mother was born before women had the right to vote.
And she couldn't vote.
Right. Well, by the time she was 21 at the time,
then she was able to.
She was able to, but she was born before. So that's just one generation.
Right.
For me, I mean, obviously for younger people.
What do you say to some people who say, "Oh, I didn't vote. My vote doesn't make any difference"?
Well, you know, I give this story that the U.S. House passed the 19th Amendment with one vote. The U.S. Senate passed it with one vote.
It was only one vote?
One vote. And then ratification in the state of Tennessee passed with one vote, and that one vote made the difference. So one vote makes a difference.
One vote does make a difference. Keep that in mind when elections come up here.
Yeah.
Keep it in mind. One vote does make a difference, okay? We're out of time. If you want more information about the League of Women Voters, what do they do?
You can go to our website, lwvcbc.org.
Okay. MARILYN McLEOD, thank you so much for coming by.
All right, thank you.
Tomorrow, Nadia Navarrete and native plants. Bye-bye.